So let's talk about why we're doing it this way. There's two different types of Google Hangouts. There's the Google Hangouts where everybody can be in one room and we chat and we do video. We can't do it that way if we're recording it. So I'm recording this so we can show it to the people that didn't arrive or who couldn't watch it with us. So I'm going to look for your questions and your comments, and we're going to put that on the webinar too so people can actually see that later on when they watch this. I eventually might want to just do a Hangout where we can just chat and be a virtual Hangout. The problem with the actual Hangouts is we cannot record those and share those with our fellow people in the forum. So ask your questions, do your chat. I will look for anything that you guys do up there. If this is your first time and you don't know what you're doing, just watch and enjoy. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about events for the fall and what we can do and what we could start to marketing. I know a lot of you guys are already doing that, but if you need some ideas and if you want to share the ideas that work for you, great. And some of these ideas you may have already heard before from me, so I do apologize. Welcome to my office here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And you can see right behind me, my little, that's my Jungle Cruise boat. That's my Haunted Mansion. That's the plaque from the Haunted Mansion and some caricatures. You know, I used to work for Disney, in case you didn't know. So when you got questions, ask them. For example, David asked, why are there so many songs about rainbows? So here's the funny thing about songs about rainbows. I know about 3. Rainbow Connection, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Is. Those are 3 songs. So if 3 is so many, then that's a lot. And what is on the other side? Probably rain. So let's go into it. So let's look right here. We're going to start right here with the first marketing piece that you could use. This right here is my little brochure. I made this. I had somebody design this, but I had them printed on Vistaprint. Alex Reyes was figuring out, where do I get things printed? Well, if you don't have a local store or somebody that can do it for you, Vistaprint. And so this one is just a front and back. So let's look at it. We got my logo and we got interactive school entertainment. Did you know that DJs are great for work for more than just dances? It's hard to read it because I got the mirror thing going on. Turn up the fun on your next school event. And so these are the different types of events that we can do. And we're going to talk about those events here in just a moment. Music and movement with a message, DJ Rob. And then on the back, we got some more information that people will probably not read because they're going to go straight to this part. Pricing. So yes, good question. I'll go to that here in a minute. I have assemblies and then I have events. I charge more for assemblies because they're one-off events and you come in, you share a message. We can talk about assemblies here in a minute. If you want to get into assemblies, that's a whole nother conversation. But when it comes to assemblies that you can do, there are reward assemblies, which I believe everybody in the forum can do. So this right here has my pricing, $195. I've raised that. And it's different on the website, but $195 for the first hour. Now, you can charge whatever you want in your market. I just do $195, $225 an hour just because these are school events and they're not expecting you to bring up lighting, trussing, and huge subwoofers. What I bring is a small stage path sound system. So this right here, Chris Davis asked, do I have separate brochures for elementary, middle, and high schools? So this right here is solely for elementary schools. Sometimes I give this to middle schools, but this is more catered towards that crowd. When it comes to high schools, I don't do a lot of high school dances anymore. I'm sorry. But I can show you some different things that I have done for high schools and what I've done for marketing for them. Now, when it comes to high schools, we'll talk to that about a minute. But let's focus on elementary schools for now. So this right here is a brochure. This brochure you can put in a mailer, And so if you don't want to go to every school, you can go ahead and put it into the mail. It might be thrown into junk mail. So if you want to actually go to the schools, I would suggest that. If you get the opportunity to actually meet with somebody, talk to them about who you are and how you would like to provide solutions for them. Not just say, I'm a DJ. You can start by asking a question. Do you guys do events here at your school? Do you guys do like carnivals? Do you guys do like family nights? If you do that, do you guys ever provide entertainment? Well, I can provide entertainment. I'm your solution. I can make sure that you guys have entertainment at your event. And so you start this conversation, either it be with the secretary or the principal. If you can get the principal, that's the best person. Or if you can get somebody from the PTA. So I usually bring two, one for the principal and one for the PTA. They sometimes just put it in the box. And then you can do a follow-up and give them a call or stop by another week and say, hey, did you ever get that brochure? And when it comes to PTA, the PTA are usually booking certain events and principals are booking other events. So there are, good question, Matt. We'll get to that here in a minute. There are different types of events. So let's talk about those events for elementary schools. Back to school carnivals, probably PTA. Family night, probably PTA. Reward assemblies, principal. School-wide events, maybe the principal, maybe the carnivals, Halloween carnivals, fall carnivals, might be the PTA, might be the principal. So try and find out who's planning these events and what their budget is. Sometimes the school itself has more of a higher budget than the actual PTA. So just try and find out who's in charge of what event and whose ear you need to get in. Once you get into that school, you're in, and you can do it year after year after year. And I know my friend Jeff, he says he's done schools where they brought him back 4 times a year. That's amazing. And so Matt asked the question, how long are your school events? 1 to 2 hours. Yes, that's usually the actual average for me. I would say the majority of my events are 2 hours. I prefer 2 hours. That gives me 2 hours to do my performance, my show, and to entertain them. 1 hour is not enough. So if you do 1 hour, you got to start off with a bang. You got to go straight into it and do your thing. 2 hours gives me time for people to show up. I'm playing music. I'm interacting as they come in, and then I start my show. And then when I say by show, I actually have a set I do. I start with a hula hoop contest, and I go to the hokey pokey, and then I do the chicken dance, and I do a variety of things of interactive dances, games that go throughout the event. So, Chris asks, do I have more success mailing versus phone versus email or in person? So the thing that's brought me the most success is not going to help you right now. It's the PTA convention. Or for those of you who have PTOs, it's the same thing. PTA is the same thing as PTOs. So PTA, they have a convention here in Utah every May or April, and I go to that. And I actually set up a booth, like a wedding booth, like you do for wedding vendors. And the great thing about PTA conferences, they usually don't have other DJs there competing. And so I hand these out to all the PTA moms there. In the fall, they have, here in Utah, they have one for teachers. I have never been a vendor at that event, but PTAs are usually the ones that are hiring people for events at schools. Now, there are certain schools that do Halloween events that I'm hired through the principal, and the principal books me year after year, year after year, year after year. And a great thing about principals, they will tell other principals about you. So incentivize your principals to book you. So you say, hey, if you can get this school and this school to book me, I will give you a $50 discount off your event. So if you are traveling a lot, let's say you're in a big area and it's hard for you to kind of cover all these schools in your region or area, and it takes you a long time to travel, you can incentivize schools to say, hey, well, book me for this event, and I'm going to be there for 3 days doing the tour. And if they book me, then you'll get 50% off, or $50 off, whatever. You don't have to make it a big discount, but what you can do is give them a discount. And so for me, the best thing to do is actually in person. I don't do phone calls. Emails I occasionally do, but the best is in person. If you want to hit as many schools as possible, mail. But if you want to just hit the schools that are in your area, in person. And so it just depends on how much volume you want to do or where you want to get started, and maybe target the neighborhoods you want to be in. And so when I say that, certain neighborhoods, the more affluent neighborhoods, have better PTAs. But don't write off the schools that are in less affluent neighborhoods. Those schools have principals that will put on good events. So the PTAs in affluent neighborhoods have strong PTAs. The schools in less affluent neighborhoods have strong principals, not like the figureheads, not necessarily the principal of, but the principal of that school may have a higher budget and may have budget allotted for these type of things. So you should think about that. Okay, typical repeat business in 1 year from a school. So yes, if you are the only guy doing this in your neck of the woods, if you're a DJ and you're killing it, they're going to bring you back year after year, year after year. And just get some feedback. Talk to the principals. Say, hey, once the event's over, if they come up to you and they congratulate you and they said, that was amazing, thank you, it was the best event we've ever done. What you're going to say to the principal is, do you do other events throughout the year? Oh, yes, we do. Well, you can bring me in for the beginning of the year and for the end of the year. Some schools will bring you in 4 times a year. I don't do it that much, but some schools bring in twice a year. But the thing is, they can only handle DJ Rob once a year, which is fine because sometimes their budget doesn't allow for more than once. But if they bring me back year after year, that's a win for me. So I know year after year, I'm going to be at Bonneville Elementary and Indian Hills Elementary doing their fun run. And that's a good segue. Why don't we go into events? So we've already talked about school carnivals, Halloween carnivals. Halloween is huge for me. I'm booking those events a year before. And that is a whole party that is, some of them are carnivals, but some of them I am the sole entertainment. All they do is provide cookies and water, and then I rock the house. And so I MC those events, I DJ those events, and I do the parade, I give out prizes. It's a lot of fun. And so typically those type of events are about 2 hours. So let's keep going here. So once again, Halloween events, fall carnivals, back to school. I just got an email today for an event that I've never done, but it was a back to school pep rally. Sounds good to me. Let's do it. That's only an hour, but I'm still going to charge them $250 for the hour. If they would have booked a second hour, I would have done it for $300. But you try and make it easy for them to book you and want to work with you. Here is some of the problems. Some schools have PTAs that leave, some schools that have principals that leave. So sometimes with the principals, they will take you to the next school that they go to. But with PTAs, you get off their radar, you have to reintroduce yourself. So we're halfway through, but do you guys want to know the big secret, the big little thing that I discovered this year? What you can do is get on the PTA's agenda. They meet usually once a month. So I found this out from one school because they actually put it on their marquee. And they said, PTA meeting this Friday at 12 o'clock. And so one time I walked into a PTA meeting and I just sat there and I listened to them go over their stuff and their plans for their fun run. And I said to them, have you met DJ Rob before? They're like, no. Well, let me tell you about DJ Rob. And I went to the third person and I told them all about this stuff that he can do. And I said, I'm representing DJ Rob today. And if you'd like to meet DJ Rob and know more about what he can do, I can arrange that. They're like, really? Yeah. I was like, all right, here I am. And so we had some fun with that. But it was a great opportunity for me to actually meet them face to face. I gave them my brochure. And then the other thing I told them, it says, if you are kind of wondering what I do, I'd be more than happy to invite you to my next event. And so it's always good to invite people so they can see you in action. Sometimes people will book you right then and then. They said, yes, we need a DJ. We need what you offer. But here's the thing. Sometimes they have apprehensions about, well, why would an elementary school want a DJ? Yeah, why would they want you? So ask yourself that. So we're going to talk usually about elementary school events. Oh, here's another question from Chris. Are these usually booked on weekdays or weekends? All my elementary school events are weekdays. I'm always pushing for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays. All my elementary school events are during the week. There are the occasional, rare exception weekend events, which are Saturday morning fun runs. So let's talk about fun runs. Why should we be doing fun runs? You should be doing every fun run there is available. I always tell people I actually do put the fun in fun run. And how do we do that? By providing music and exercise, well, we'll say aerobics instructions. What I do is I do warm-up activities with the kids before they go out doing their fun run. The best kind of fun runs, the ones you can get paid most for, are the ones that last all day. And so the ones that I usually do, I'm actually the warm-up guy. So think Zumba for kids. That's what I do. The kids come out. We start with the kindergartners, and then we go to the first graders, and we do grade level by grade level. And I do interactive warm-up activities. What I do for the kindergartners is much different what I do for the 5th and 6th graders. For the 5th and 6th graders, I actually do some real techniques and do music that they like. But for the little kids, I was like, all right, let's do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Let's do the chicken dance to stretch out our arms. So I can do fun things like that with the younger kids. Then when it comes to the older kids, I actually put on music that they know, and I just stretch with them. All right, now we're going to, touch our toes, and we're going to stretch to the side, and I'm just playing, some 21 Pilots, and they're bobbing their head and they're singing along to the music while we're stretching. But the little kids, I engage them a little bit more. But fun runs can be really awesome opportunity to do full day events and get paid more. Some I've done where I've just done an hour, and I just do a warm up for the entire school, and I play music as they run around the track. So there's different ways to go about that, but fun runs are really good. That's also another angle that you can get when you can talk to PTA moms and PTA presidents. You can say, well, do you guys do fun runs, or do you do fundraisers? I can enhance your fundraiser and make it more enjoyable for those students. And I actually do kickoff assemblies for some schools for their fun runs, and I lump that into my pricing. When I do their kickoff assemblies, I introduce the prizes. I talk to the kids about how they should solicit donations, and then we talk all about how fun the fun run's going to be. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions. Most of these questions are from Chris. Thank you, Chris, for all your questions. Okay, Matt made a comment. Community/fitness/fun runs are always great to get involved with. I think Matt's seen some great success with that. While I love repeat business, how do you deal with wannabe DJs who will do it for free? I lose business all the time to wannabe DJs, and I let them suffer the consequences. Here it's the same thing with weddings. It's the same thing with, if a school is willing to go with a free wannabe DJ, they're not your client. Schools that hire me know that I provide an invaluable service. And what I say to them also is, I have been doing this for years. I know the right music to play. I have edited music. I research, say I look at the Radio Disney charts and I know what songs are appropriate. I do this for a living. The guy who's doing it for free may or may not show up to your event. He may or may not have the right music. So you want to keep that in mind. Do you want to keep this family friendly? Do you want somebody who has the right music? You don't know what you're getting with the guy who's doing it for free, because he's probably not paying for his music and he's downloading it off of YouTube, and the music has explicit lyrics. Yeah, start talking trash. But you can give them the ideas that, if you don't use me, you know, these might be the consequences, or these might be problems you'll run into. So my suggestion always is to do that, or just let it be and let them come back. I lost a gig this year to another DJ that does who had a photo booth. They decided to go with another DJ because he has a photo booth. I imagine they'll be calling me back next year because he probably didn't do a good job and he just had a photo booth, and that was what appealed to them. And so I think you also got to make sure that you keep in contact with your PTA moms and say, hey, if you're not in charge next year, who's going to be in charge next year? That give me their name and I'll follow up with them, if you're really good at that follow-up thing. Good questions all around. All right, it looks like we don't have any other. Ooh, here we go. Another one from Chris. Tools, tips for reinforcing your brand to schools and kids at the event during the performance. Good question. When it comes to high schools, that's really tough. When it comes to elementary schools, the kids that really want to go off and do music or things that are inappropriate, I just kind of say, I'm sorry, you know, we're keeping this family friendly, or, oh, I don't have that song. A lot of people just know what I do, and I don't really allow them to make requests. And you just kind of do your show and keep it the same way that you would do it for everybody. And you can always get on the mic and say, hey guys, this is going to be a fun, interactive experience. All my music is going to be family friendly. If you have any ideas for songs that you think that will work, that everybody will dance to, great. But the thing is, sometimes I just say, I'm sorry, I can't play that song. So I don't know if that really answers your questions, but same way, Chris, I know you do a lot of church dances. For those of you that do church dances, for any type of faith or religion, you have to keep a standard there. And I think I would handle it the same way I would handle a church dance. Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions. Matt said, thank you for addressing the issue. And so are there any other events that you guys are doing out there that we want to talk about? Alan asked the question, how common are daddy-daughter dances? Now let's talk about daddy-daughter dances. Daddy-daughter dances I don't usually do until February. That's usually the time of the year that I do daddy-daughter dances. Daddy-daughter dances aren't too common. But the great thing about daddy-daughter dances is it's something you can pitch to the school, to the PTA. Now, something I did a couple of years ago with my sister-in-law up in Logan, Utah, that is. She did 2 nights. And so they did a daddy-daughter dance, and then they did a son-mother dance. But they made them themes. So they had Western night. And so I taught them line dances. In addition to line dances, we did some fun swing dances for the kids. And so it worked out great for both nights. So one night was the dads and the daughters, Western night. The second night was sons and mothers. And so I only did that a couple of years because she was the PTA president for only a couple of years. But it's a really great thing to do. And if schools aren't doing it, pitch it to them and say, this would be a great opportunity for the girls to come out with their fathers. And if they say, we don't want to exclude the boys, pitch the other dance. Or if you have somebody that works with you, why not do 2 rooms? You know, have a couple of people in the library and have a couple of people in the gym, or split the gym, however you can get it done. That's also a thing. So you can do 2 separate nights, 2 separate events. Okay, so Chris was, how do I reinforce my DJ Rob brand? Well, I have a website and I have videos. So let's talk about marketing yourself as the person that comes to your events. I'm going to show you guys something. It's a tool. It's something you guys may not be familiar with, but this is something that's really helped me out. Yes, guys. It is the Selfie Stick. Now, the selfie stick is what I use at most of my events. I love to take pictures. I love to do videos. And I like taking pictures with my schools. And this is how I reinforce my brand. People will want to hire you, but sometimes they don't know how to hire you. And this is what I do. If you guys follow me on Facebook, my branding comes a lot through my Facebook page, through my Instagram, and also my DJ Rob website. If you're not familiar with that website, we can go explore that here in just a moment. It's DJ Rob Utah. Let's look at that, djrobutah.com. I'll share that here in just a moment while that loads. And that is my kids' website. Here we go, and share. So you can see the website right here. It's interactive school entertainment. You can see the pricing went up for that one. But this is a part of my brand. I do videos. I show that I used to work at Nickelodeon and all those type of things. Family friendly, all those type of things. You can see that picture with me with all the kids at the elementary school event. And then I have 3 videos: a fun run video, an assembly video, a family entertainment video. So you can see all these different things. And this is kind of to keep me on brand. So at my events, I actually have a banner that's a DJ Rob banner. So I kind of have 2 different kind of personas. And it's that logo with the cartoon logo. If the person who really does it well in the corporate and wedding world is Jason Jani. He created his own brand. And so I did the same kind of a thing with my kids brand, which is DJ Rob. And so I have the cartoon character avatar. Have something made like that, or just have a logo that kind of makes you family friendly and fun. And so I have 3 different websites. One's corporate, one's my weddings and entertainment, and then this is my kids brand. So that's the DJ Rob one. And so it might seem daunting to have 3 different websites, or you can just have a whole page dedicated to it. I used to do that, but now I just have my own website. But you can do a page on your website that just says kids events, and then they can click on it and have it more like that. But the reason I separated the 3 is so that clients wouldn't go to the website and go, oh, he's a kids DJ, because sometimes they may see just one thing and then just place me in that and pigeonhole me into that. So once again, let's go back to the selfie stick. I take selfies at my events, and I know some of you are saying, oh, you can't post that on the internet. You have kids' faces and things like that. I've never gotten any type of complaints. And so if you're a creeper, you might have that problem. I don't know. But there might be different laws from where you're from. But I never had a problem taking videos and selfies with kids. And I don't really use it for marketing. It's just more for Facebook. And somebody told me, tell people what you want them to hire you for. So if you're constantly posting political stuff or stupid memes, then you're doing yourself no favor. If you have over 1,000 friends out there that are moms and that are PTAs, and all they see from your website or from your Facebook page is just you ranting on political stuff, then you're doing no service to yourself. We're in a business. We're small business people. So if you want to do that, then maybe create a separate page. I've also created my own Facebook fan page, which is, Rob Foray, the entertainer. But I also have Life of the Party, which is my big business brand. And so tell people, did you know that I do kids events? Do you know I do that? Do you know? And you guys are probably annoyed with all the photos that I put on Facebook, but it is calculated and it is on purpose. I have friends who live in Phoenix, and they're like, you need to come down to Phoenix and do stuff down there. Sorry, David, but David Hoyt, that is. But people are seeing me do these events, and I have friends who've reached out to me out of the woodworks, and they said, I'm PTA president, and I can finally hire you. Or, hey, I want you to come and do a block party. And because of that brand, I can now do parties outside of schools because they know me as that. So I have 3 block parties booked for this fall. It's back to school parties. And these are done by friends, and these are private events. but they're public in sense, but for like their parties. But that's what you need to start doing, is you need to tell your friends and possibly your clients via Facebook, via LinkedIn, what you're doing and what to hire you for. Did you guys know that I'm doing kids events now? You should totally hire me. I know it's shameless self-promotion, but you have to do it if you want to get anywhere with your friends in Facebook. That's what I'm doing. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions or comments. Anything else? Ooh, here we go. Michael Morris. What tips and tricks have you seen to prevent the grinding freak dancing at high school events? Us DJs get blamed a lot. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't do enough high school events to get beyond that. Once I see grinding and things like that happen, I'll go to an interactive song. I sprinkle my dances with a lot of interactive stuff, and that usually gets rid of it. I also would stay away from those songs, but grinding is going to happen no matter what. But I think the best solution is an interactive dance. Cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle, the wobble, the whip nae, the lean dab. Just have those songs ready to go. Don't burn them too quickly. And this is something that I've also heard is it's all right to kick off the dance party at the very beginning with a big boom. And you don't have to save the whip nae for the very end. You can do it at the beginning and you can do it at the end. And so you can actually bookend your high school dances. If it's a 3-hour event, hit it hard at the very beginning, Uptown Funk, Can't Fight the Feeling, and then Can't Stop the Feeling, and then Whip Nae, and then you can also do that at the end. And so whatever songs you have that are in your arsenal that are going to kill, you can play them at the beginning and you can also play them at the end. So bookend your events with those strong songs. You can do the same thing for kids events. Start off with a bang. Any other questions here? I am hopefully going to see everybody's questions here. I think Alan had something about daddy-daughter dances. Any other questions before we start to wrap things up here? Elementary school daddy-daughter dances. Yeah, that's what Alan asked about. I think that was maybe just to clear up. I do most of my the majority of my daddy-daughter dances are elementary school daddy-daughter dances. Okay, and if there's anything you want to share or anything that you think that's worked for you, you're more than welcome to put it in the questions. Let's look at the chat. Nobody's doing that. Let's go to the website here and see if anybody else has said anything. The screen freezes every few seconds. I do apologize. It may not be me. I don't know. Where do you get your contact names and numbers for PTOs and PTAs? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't do that. I just go to the schools, or if I'm mailing it to somebody, and I've been successful in that regard. I have done mass emails and I just say PTA president. I just put PTA president. Sean, you are not missing it. If you are here, hopefully you are commenting on it. Where do you get contact names and numbers for PTAs before going to the meetings? So I think what would be good to do is go to the secretary and say, I would love to be put on the agenda for the PTA meeting. Who do I do that through? Through you, or is there a secretary? How do I get put on the agenda? And if you do get put on the agenda, please thank them with chocolates, donuts, or treats, something like that. They'll love you for that. Or just figure out what they like. And so if you do come to the meeting and if you are on the agenda, bring something. But make it a discussion and give them solutions. That's what I'm always saying to my clients. I present a solution to something that you don't want to do. You don't want to be DJing. You don't want to have to pick out the music. You don't want to try and get kids to dance. Because guess what? I'm going to do that for you. All right, Jeff, sorry. I'm just getting to your questions right now. When you should start making marketing for end of the school year's proms, graduations, And who do you contact the school for that? Great question. So end of the school year, proms, dances, graduations, I would start in January. Now, grad night. In my state, grad night is done by the PTA. So grad night is for your high schools. So grad night, you want to get, I sometimes advertise for that at the Pta Convention. Sometimes they contest three months in advance, 2 months in advance. I've also seen 1 month in advance. If you have an amazing setup for grad nights, I would do that. But offer them other things. That will make you stand out. So if you have a photo booth, we do DJ and photo booth, or we'll do a DJ and we'll do a karaoke room. Or for the first hour, we'll do minute to win it games. And then for the last 2 hours, we're just going to do a dance party. So offer them solutions. Also, I do this with my corporate clients. Say, hey, I would love to sit in your next committee meeting and offer you some solutions. And or talk to them. What are your plans? Because some of the grad nights I've done that have been unsuccessful in the sense of didn't really quite work, we weren't any part of the planning. And so if you reach out to them and say, what are your plans for that night? And when are you doing things? So I would ask them in advance. JD, how do you deal with, this is a fundraiser, with their desired expectations that you'll do an event for a lower price because of that? Actually, I don't get that problem very often, but let's talk about how you can do that. I would love to do your fundraiser. And if this is something where you are needing maybe a discount on my services, we can look at a couple different options. I'd be more than happy to do some trade. So if you have somebody that wants to sponsor me or if you have any gifts, I don't know, you can always find different options with trade. But maybe you can say, I will do your fundraiser for $250 if you will also book me for your end of the school year event. I'll do both events. My normal price is $300, but I'll do both events for $250. How's that? That's a $100 discount. So like with anything when it comes to weddings to corporate events, you can't give up something without get something back. Or you can say, or you can add value. There's always that too when it comes to that. But if it's on like a weekday, you're not giving really too much up. But if you could book another event, that's a great idea. Thanks for that question, JD. I hope that answered your question. And if you have any ideas, please put them in the comments or in the questions. That also helps too. Okay. Any other questions? This one's from Alan. Do your elementary school events lead to referrals to private parties or the same age range or other types or events of the same types of events? Yes, 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 and yes. Folks, if you do a good job, they're going to start hiring you for their bar mitzvahs. Let me tell you about a free event I did 8 years ago. Or was it 9 years ago? It was 9 years ago. I moved back to Utah and I started my business. I just moved back from Orlando, Florida. So I was getting things started. And there was a neighborhood event. It was a block party type thing. And it was a 4th of July party. And they needed a DJ. So I volunteered my services for that one time. They eventually started paying me. But this was a neighborhood event. So really, it was coming out of people's own pockets. I DJ'd that event. I did such a good job. This lady came up to me and says, give me your card. She called me and she booked me for her kids' birthday parties 3 years in a row. Because I did such a good job for her and I did give her discounts, she said she introduced me to the Jewish community. And that's when I started doing bar and bat mitzvahs here in Utah. And that's what turned into it. And so here's some other things. When I've done school events, PTA moms maybe move on, but they still remember you. They call you for the Sweet 16. Or I have also done end of the school year backyard parties. And so because I get so much exposure to these moms and to these clients, they book me for separate events and they also refer me for other events. Hey, we've heard all about you, DJ Rob. Do you do weddings? Of course I do. So it does turn into more work and similar parties. Yes. Pool parties into the school backyard parties, things like that, and block parties throughout the summer. I would do that all the time. Start advertising that. Say, hey guys, I'm doing a block party. Throw your own block party, and then take videos and pictures of it and say, I can do this for you guys too. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I want to get Alan to do my block party. How much is it going to cost? You know? And so it's a great way to do it. A block party I'm doing in September, I'm teaming up with a photographer. We're doing it in trade. She's going to give me family photos. But she is a rising star on social media. So I'm going to be exposed to all her social media fans, and hopefully in turn they will start following me, and you know, it goes from there. You know, and there's that funny meme with the 3 skeletons sitting at a table and doing the event for free. They were still waiting for that exposure check. Here's the thing about it. If you're not very good, the exposure isn't. But if you are amazing, if you are unique, if you are providing that a product that no other DJ is, that exposure can really lead to some big things. I'm not asking you guys to do stuff for free, but don't always turn away that free gig. You never know. Also, sometimes what I say to people, I never do free gigs on Fridays and Saturday nights. I just can't. But I would love to work with you. I will do this freebie for you once. We can do it on a Monday night, you know, and so you can always negotiate, always try and make it a win-win. Do you have a waiver for the use of event photography? I do not, but I do have a form or some wording. So if you want that, it's something I used with Radio Disney years. Nobody's ever told me to take their kids off. There has been a bar mitzvah where we took some video, and then the mother said, please do not post that on your website. And I said, done, we won't post it. So I've never had any problems with using kids in my videos and things like that. It might vary from state to state. I don't know. So that's a problem I don't ever really have. Okay, any other questions? Oh, yes. Non-marketing. Great question, Chris. Sorry, I keep saying great questions. They're all great questions. If you keep kids involved, do you find that families and parents are happy? Yes, yes, and yes. Here's the great thing, is if you keep kids involved, parents love to do this. And what are they doing? They're taking video of their kid and they're posting it on Facebook and Instagram. And you can also, you know, if you want to be shameless, I don't really do this, but you could say, you know, you could point out that mom taking the video. Hey, you over there, when you post that video, hashtag DJ Rob or @DJ Rob. You're welcome. So you can have some fun with that, or you can jump into the picture, or you can do this. One thing that I'm wanting to, I have these DJ Rob t-shirts. I want to make more of them. Kids, make your prizes with your brand. So why not hand out t-shirts with your name on it and your website and your hashtag, and not your hashtag, but your social media on it. Kids will wear that to school. I mean, they're like, I have a DJ Rob t-shirt. I'm cool. Kids love free t-shirts. And so it's better than giving them a t-shirt that from a bank, you know, or some weird sponsor that they don't even care about, but they like you. And so do that. And so the thing about having happy parents are, hey, this guy could do this for my company party, because we do a family picnic every year. Once again, same thing. And so there are companies that bring me year after year because it's their family picnic and I can entertain their kids. If you are known as that guy who can entertain kids, it is repeat business. All right. Any other questions? Do you keep in contact during the year? Not very often. I am admittedly very bad at that. I wish I was better at, you know, keeping in contact with everybody, maybe creating a DJ Rob newsletter, but I constantly invite people to like our Facebook page, to interact with me via social media. But I think having maybe just a kids newsletter, maybe once a month, to all the people that you've worked with, I think that would be very helpful. even if it is just 10 people. But, maybe build your list that way. So yeah, thanks, Sue. There hasn't been much info out to help that. I'm currently working on some tips and tricks to use as part of my marketing strategy. Okay. I don't know what that's in reference to, but thank you, Matt. Here we go, David. A famous school DJ suggests using a special color code light to signal sponsors that grinding suspicious activity is on the dance floor. So that works for high schools. I don't really address a lot of high school stuff in this forum. It's just because it's just not really my wheelhouse, and I don't want to give you guys information that may not really be valuable. The majority of events I do are elementary school and middle school. But that's fun, having a spotlight. I think that would be cool to bring you just one of those big old spotlights, right? Grind alert, embarrass them a little bit, maybe do it, maybe have some fun with it. So hopefully that works. Matt, community, oh wait, nope, sorry, that's not Matt. Another question popped up. Where is it coming from? I'm trying to figure it out. These questions don't pop up in order. They just pop up with the person's names. And so hopefully we can find that one here in just a moment. I do apologize. Elliot, hey! So the guy that taught me everything I know about being a kids DJ is Elliot Hansen. And he's right here in the forum watching. Hello from Walt Disney World, live at Expo Park and watching you. So Elliot right now is doing events at Disney Springs, which used to be known as Downtown Disney. Now, if you ever get to go to Disney World, if you're ever making a trip, make sure you take the time to go to Downtown Disney. Spend an evening watching the DJs down there. Elliot has trained all the DJs down there, at least the majority of them. Some of them aren't his, but the majority of the DJs are his. And they have a brand, they have a show that they do. And this will give you some great ideas. Thanks for chiming in, Elliot. It's good to see you there. So make sure, whenever you make your way down to Walt Disney World, you check that out. Here we go. Susan, shoot, how do you keep in contact during the school year? Call or email? Email is the best way for me to do it. I do emails. That works. Elliot, how do you balance the thin line of being the entertainer and being the person in charge? Ooh, having to cross the line and be an authoritative person versus the fun entertainer. So I crossed that line a couple of weeks ago at a conference event. And I just got to a point because I didn't set the standards. And so I think what you need to do is when the event begins, set some standards, set some ground rules, especially when it comes to your stage. You want to be able to be that fun guy, but you want to be able to keep things safe. That's a good word, safety. So what you should say is, I want to make sure that everybody is safe. Safe ears, safe being on the dance floor. So if you have any requests, please let me know from the floor or maybe don't even take requests. But being that fun guy, also make sure you got to be make sure that kids are safe. But being authoritative and making people know. And so Elliot, what I've observed from Elliot is he just goes through. He just does his thing. Sometimes little kids chime in. Sometimes little kids say things. Sometimes they do stuff. It sounds a little harsh, but it's not like he's ignoring them, but he is. He's just doing his thing. He has tunnel vision. And if you are getting kids out of the audience and doing certain things, be ready for kids to start maybe taking over. So don't give them an inch if you don't want them to. And so usually when I start my show, if I'm on a stage, I said, for your safety and my safety, we have the stage up here. This is DJ Rob's stage. Where your stage is right here, guys. This is where you're going to dance and this is where you're going to shine. And I want to see you guys have the best dance moves because this is the best way for your parents to see you on the dance floor. But set boundaries, set expectations and set boundaries. And let's say halfway through your show, you can make that announcement again. Hope you guys have been having a lot of fun here. Let's keep everything on the dance floor because this is where the fun is. You don't want to be up here. The stage is not for you, you know, whatever. Just have some fun with that. That's a great question, Elliot. Let's see here. Any other questions? Let me go to the other page here. Let's see here. Okay. Jeff comments, I have booked several events from referrals from my elementary schools. Perfect. Jeff, I am working on pool parties contract for next year at major resort because of the referral at an elementary school. Perfect. And Jeff does a lot of pool parties. And then Mike Morales, he also does a lot of those. I seen DJ Elliott while working at Disney, and he is awesome. He is great. So if you ever want to see one of the professionals in action, I would suggest you go to Walt Disney World, to Disney Springs, and see Elliot in action. He is amazing. If you ever want to see me in action, you can come to Utah. You're more than welcome to come here. Or if you would like, I can also come to your state and we can put on a party. And so if you want to get a school to help pay for it, I'd be more than happy to put on the party. I just need to be paid for my travel and a little bit of my time. So if that's something you want to do, set it up. Say, hey, we brought in a special guest, DJ Rob. He's going to help do it. We're going to rock it out together. Then you can kind of see how I do my show, and then you have me for the day. So that's also another option that I've been proposing to people. So if you got an extra $1,000 lying around, sorry, shameless promotion. But Elliot would be the best thing for you to do because everybody goes to Walt Disney World. So make sure in your vacation, take time to go down to downtown Disney Springs to see Elliot in action. Okay, we almost went the full hour here. Any other questions before we wrap things up? I really do appreciate you guys doing this. My vision for next time is probably just to have a conversation. So do an actual Google Hangout. This is more of a webinar. But questions that have been directed to me have been really good. But I want to be able to have you guys give your input. It's always fun to hear what you guys are doing in your market. So the reason we did it this way is so we can have a video and we can give it to other people. But let's review some things, some important things. Create literature, maybe a brochure, maybe even a separate website for your DJ brand when it comes to your kids' events. Number 2. Promote the heck out of yourself. Create videos, take photos, post it on Instagram, post it on Snapchat. Snapchat apparently is the most popular social media format for teens right now. And even, younger kids from 8 until about 13, they love Snapchat. And post it on Facebook. Start telling people what you are doing. Tell people how they can hire you. But do it in a fun, creative way on Facebook, and people will start liking it. People always comment to me, I love seeing what you're doing. It's so much fun to see you out there doing that. And so if you've been following me for the last year, I've dropped all my political stuff. I've stopped posting stupid memes. On the occasion I post a stupid picture or something about my cat, people like to know about your lives too. But I've been sticking primarily to what I do with my job. And it has been on purpose and it has been calculated. And I post once a day. I don't inundate these people with stuff all the time. Sometimes really cool stuff doesn't get posted because if you're posting more than 2 or 3 times a day, it just gets lost. And so you want to keep posting. And it keeps your friends engaged. All right, let's see if there's anything else here. I saw another question come in. Thanks for being a rock star. Thank you, Chris. Hope you have some success up there in Idaho. I hope we had some information in here that was very that was helpful to you. Also, here's the thing: is like my favorite mentor, Scott Favor. If you do want, maybe 10, 15 minutes of my time, let me know. Shoot me a message via Facebook or a text message. I'll be more than happy to just give you some ideas. Also, our community is very good. If you have an event that's coming up, ask the whole community. I want you to pose those questions to everybody so everybody can chime in and give you some ideas. If you're worried about the riffraff, then you're more than welcome just to send it to me. Okay, some more stuff are popping in. I do apologize. I'm a stud. Hey, Lex, it's good to see you. Lex is down in St. George, Utah. What Lex is doing, he's doing some amazing stuff. Lex is doing foam parties, and he's doing community events. And so Lex is not like super interactive, but he can bring some really unique things and create a party that way. He's very innovative with his foam parties, with his DJ setups, with his projection. So work on your strengths. If it's not being a kid's interactive DJ, you can bring something new and unique, but make it family friendly. And if you're not a good dancer and you don't want to dance, you bring people and dance for you. You know, David Hoyt, he has his daughter dance for him. I know people that hire people. And so, hey, do you want to make 20 bucks? Yeah, I would love to make 20 bucks. Well, do you want to be a part of my dance party? You can do that too. So that's just something else. And so that's another conversation for another day. Is there a difference between elementary schools and middle schools performance? Middle schools are, what I do for middle schools are about an hour. And so there is a big difference. I do all the promo only quick edits. If you're not familiar with those, they're really great. It gives you the best 2 minutes of the song. I do just song after song after song after song, interactive, song after song after song, interactive. So I keep it going, keep it going. And yeah, it keeps them really good. Okay. I think that's it, guys. If we have anything else. Sorry. Thank you, guys. I believe that's it. So any last questions on here? JD, this is the last one. How do you dress for kids' events in general? Do you generally dress different when you meet with PTA or principal? Good question. I'm a button-up kind of guy. And so when I actually do kids' events, I usually wear this shirt, roll up the sleeves, and have some fun. You can wear a branded polo. You can wear a T-shirt with your logo on it. I also like to wear shirts that give me a little bit of breathing room. I have this really cool Captain America shirt that really connects with the kids. So maybe have something fun. When I used to work at Downtown Disney, we used to wear Disney shirts. When I worked at Universal Studios, I used to wear shirts that had to do with movies at Universal Studios. You could have a Minions shirt, maybe something that's just that relates to the kids and will help you be more relatable. But I usually wear shorts and then maybe like a button-up shirt. When I meet with the PTA moms, I don't dress up in a suit. No, I keep it casual, but I don't wear flip-flops and shorts. So I'll probably wear, a button-up shirt and maybe jeans and maybe a jacket. But don't scare them away. And it's all about authenticity. People like people who are authentic, who are not salesmen. I don't push sales on them. I just let them know about me. And so just be authentic, be fun, be who you are. Elliot, he likes to wear, his cap, and then he likes to wear his his short sleeve button-up shirts. You can wear, whatever you think will connect to your audience. If you are that guy that wears a flat-brimmed hat, kids love that. You can be that flat-brimmed hat guy. But don't be somebody who you aren't. But don't feel like you have to dress up too much. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. I think that's it for everybody. I do appreciate you guys getting on here and interacting and asking questions. Once again, I did this so we could post this later on so everybody can watch it later. If there's interest in doing an actual hangout where we just discuss ideas, we can do that too. It'd be more kind of like a mastermind type thing. And then we can do it that way. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us. And if you have any questions, you can always post it after the video too. Have a great weekend, and here's to your future events in the fall.